Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to South Medford High School in beautiful South Medford, Oregon. As we get ready for high school hoops coming up here tonight, following Portland Trailblazers basketball, as we bring you Roseburg Indians boys basketball on the road against the South Medford Panthers tonight. This is your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Tonight, the Roseburg Indians will look to try and see if they can get that first win in conference play on the road as they take on the Panthers, who currently sit near the top of the conference standings, just a half game behind the Sheldon Irish in the Southwest Conference standings. Roseburg coming off of a tough loss against the Sheldon Irish, one that they were probably one of their more competitive games of the season. But once again, defense it didn't quite come through for the Indians as they give up triple digits and find themselves on the wrong end by 18 points. On the other side, it was a narrow win here at home for the South Medford Panthers, taking out South Eugene to take over sole possession of second place in the conference standings. A 79-76 win for the Panthers on top of the Axe last Friday night. A tight one there, and this one will be another big test for the Roseburg boys here tonight. But we look forward to bringing you the action as we get ready to tip things off here in just a little bit here on The Score. Good evening, everybody. I'm Joey Keeran. It's so great to have you with us here as we make the trek down south here to Dennis Murphy Court at South Medford High School. Roseburg boys looking to try and knock off the South Medford Panthers and end what is a 13-game losing streak against South Medford. This is a program that has been so good for so long. And we'll see if the Roseburg Indians have it in the cards for them here tonight. I want to remind you tonight's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. I will warn you, we are working off of a Wi-Fi hotspot. So right now, things seem all right. Hopefully they will stay that way. We'll see how things continue to go here tonight. But you can watch the game online, hopefully throughout the entire broadcast with us here this evening. And as we bring you the action, we hope that you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Add another subscriber. It really helps us out if you subscribe to the channel. It is free, and you can set it up to where you can get notifications when we go live with another broadcast for Roseburg High School sports here on The Score. Coming up here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show, we've got a word with head coach Brett Nixon. It's our Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. That'll be coming up here in just a few minutes as we do take a look at this matchup. The Roseburg Indians coming off of that 101-83 loss against the Sheldon Irish on Friday last week. Third time giving up 100 points or more this season by Roseburg. I did look back. I had wondered because 100 points in high school basketball, that's kind of a rarity, and I did not think that it had happened often in my time covering the Roseburg Indians. And I look back and, well, it's only happened one time in the previous 12 years, and it was South Medford that did it. 111 points against Roseburg in let's see here, that was, where's my notes on this? I thought I had some notes on it. There it is. Well, I didn't write down that specific note, but it was South Medford that did it. It was about 3 years ago, I want to say, and 111, highest point total I've seen Roseburg give up in some time. But the Indians will try to keep it under that mark and see if they can keep it competitive. They were in their game against Sheldon. It was just it was the closest game for Roseburg since I lost to Milwaukee back on December 29th. RHS trailed 84-76, an 8-point game with about 5 minutes left to go in the game, but Sheldon finished on a 17-7 run to finish things out. So it was quite the finish there for the Irish as they would stay undefeated in league play. Roseburg did push them, but and were competitive in that game down the stretch, just could not quite keep it all together towards the end. On the other side, for South Medford at 4-1 in conference play, that was a big win over South Eugene, who sits at 3-1 in conference play. South Medford led it 78-70 with 3:14 left to go in the game. South Eugene hit a three-pointer with 45 seconds left to play to get within 3 points, 79-76. South Eugene did have a chance with 4.6 seconds left to go on a three-point shot, but it was well off the mark, and South Medford would hang on for the victory here on their home floor. Both teams were undefeated in conference play. Well, that wouldn't make sense. That's what I heard on the broadcast, but if South Eugene is 3-1 in conference play, that would not make sense. So, and South Medford is 4-1. Yeah. Either way, it was a tough matchup against teams that are sitting currently towards the top of the Southwest Conference standings. That was a note I made off of the broadcast I watched for that game, and now looking at it, I'm thinking, that doesn't quite seem accurate as to exactly what's going on in the Southwest Conference at the moment. So we will just move on from that point. Last time these two teams met last year, it was an 85-55 win for South Medford here in Medford. Roseburg did lose both games against South Medford a year ago, 67-51 in the first game of the season. So that was a tough one there last year for Roseburg. And Roseburg hasn't beaten South Medford in a couple of seasons. Mentioned a 13-game losing streak against South this in the series. 5-22 since 2013-2014 for Roseburg. So it's been a tough go against these Panthers, who have been historically very good in basketball. We're going to go ahead and take a break. It seems as if we might be celebrating senior night tonight, which is a little surprising as early on in the season as we are, but they seem to be pulling this off here tonight. So, might have a bit of an extended pregame show here this evening. Not sure exactly the reason why they would do senior night in the middle of the season, but here we are. So we will go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll get that Bowers Industrial pregame interview in with head coach Brett Nixon. Blazers basketball just wrapping up. We caught it right there at the end of the game. Timing worked out perfect for us. Blazers unfortunately fall for their third consecutive loss, losing to the Washington Wizards. Unfortunately, the Wizards are the worst team in the NBA, and the Blazers fall 115-111 on the road. Second night of a back-to-back, but the Blazers had been good on the second nights of back-to-backs. And they had also been good on the road against the Wizards, winning 5 straight on the road against Washington. But tonight, the Blazers just didn't have it. They fall 115-111. In the JV game, the South Medford Panthers get a 64-31 win on top of the Roseburg Indians. Does look like we might be having a little bit of buffering for those that might be trying to watch online. My apologies on that. Hopefully we will stabilize as the evening wears on. But as it goes right now, a little bit of a buffer action for us this evening. We'll have the game getting underway here in just a little while. They do have some festivities going on before the game, and we've got the pregame clock stopped at 10 minutes to go as they pause for these celebrations. And, I believe they're acknowledging all of their seniors, which, again, we haven't even finished the first half of conference play. But yet South Medford is going through senior night festivities. All right, well, we're on the we're rolling with the punches. We're going on the fly here tonight. We'll come back with our pregame coaches interview with Coach Brett Nixon of the Roseburg Indians. It's our Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. We'll have that for you when we return after this 2-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Back here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. It's time now for our Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. A proud supporter of our local community and youth sports. Joining us is Coach Brett Nixon as the Roseburg Indians get ready to take on the South Medford Panthers. Coach, we talked about it a little bit in the post-game show after the game earlier last week on Friday against the Sheldon Irish, that it felt like things kind of took a step in the right direction. How did you feel maybe after you got a chance to digest what you saw against the Irish and in the days since, maybe a little bit of practice time? How have you felt about kind of what you saw from the team on that Friday night?
Yeah, things are starting to click. Starting to trust each other, starting to trust the system, and running the floor, sharing the ball, playing really well together. And yeah, after looking back on it, a lot of positives. Still got to take care of the ball. Turned the ball over 27 times in that game. Not going to win many games turning the ball over that many times. So ball security, keep working, doing what we're doing, and I think we'll be fine.
You know, and being able to hang on to the basketball obviously doesn't lead to breakouts and easy buckets on the other side, and can hopefully maybe keep the game a little bit lower scoring. I'm imagining 3 games with the opponent hitting triple digits against you guys this year. That defensive side of the ball continues to be a focus for you guys, I imagine. Yeah,
I mean, it's ball security and rebounding. The one positive to take from Friday was that, we did have 19 assists. So, it shows that we're sharing the ball. Had all 5 starters in double figures. So that was good. But, yeah, letting the team score, I mean, you need to keep a team under 70 points if you're going to win a ball game. So we definitely got some defensive work to work there. And mainly it's just crashing the boards and getting those rebounds. We get out-rebounded quite often.
So those obviously seem to be points of emphasis for this Roseburg team here at this point. As you guys are gearing up for a week where you guys are on the road, both games Tuesday and Friday, you guys get a chance to hit the road. Does that change kind of, or is there any sort of different message as you guys get ready for a week that's going to have you guys kind of a little road weary for this team?
Yeah, we talked about last week kind of writing some stuff on the board, and energy and focus are really what we got to dial in on, especially when you're traveling, 2 hours down to Medford and then an hour or so up to Eugene. It's, those bus trips got to take something out of you. So really trying to stay dialed in, locked in, and focused, and bring that energy, because a lot of time when we do play somewhere else, we come out a little flat, and we can't afford, we don't dig out of holes real well. So we gotta jump up when we can.
Tonight you guys take on a South Medford team, always a talented program down here. What have you seen on the tape with these guys, and what are some of the keys for you guys to try and maybe pull off a victory here tonight?
So they're pretty tall. They're very long, and they're deep. They go, they're going to come out for 4 minutes and then substitute 5 fresh guys and really make you work for it. And we're not real deep tonight, so we're definitely going to have to do the right things to handle the ball. Taking care of the ball, taking good shots, maybe trying to control some of that tempo, because they're going to try to make us get up and run, and that's not going to bode well for us in the long run.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you guys out there tonight.
All right, thanks, sir.
That is head coach of the Roseburg Indians, Brett Nixon, as we bring you tonight's Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. Joey Keeran here with you on this Tuesday night in Medford. It was starting to get a little drizzly as I made my way here to the gym here this evening. But we'll see how things go, and once we step back outside, make our way home here tonight. Roseburg looking for that first win in conference play, and looking for their first win in the 2025-2026 season. We are waiting on that to come through for the Roseburg Indians, and We are hopeful that maybe that could be tonight. We'll see how that goes for the Tribe this evening. Roseburg will be a bit shorthanded, as you heard head coach Brett Nixon mention in the interview there. They're going to be without Marcus Lobo tonight. I didn't catch the exact reason why, but he is out for this evening's game. And also out tonight, once again, is Gavin Michael. He had an injury to his ankle and missed the last game for Roseburg. And he is going to be out for a second consecutive game here tonight. And, of course, Jaron Leeworthy has missed every game except for the first two, where he averaged 12.5 points per game, had a season-high 17 in the season opener, and has been out ever since Game 2 of the season. So Roseburg will be thin on their numbers here tonight. We'll see how they handle that. On the other side, it looks as if honorable mention All-Southwest Conference selection Joey Clevenger appears to be out tonight. He was in street clothes, and seems like he's got a boot on his left foot. So that's unfortunate for the Panthers here tonight. Clevenger was averaging 11.6 points per game, had 15 in the game against South Eugene. He had made his return to the floor. He had missed some time and finally got back, and I think they were assuming he was going to be back again for tonight's game, but he appears to be out for this evening's contest. South Medford and the under 10th year coach, James Whiteman, can't believe it's been 10 years already, as after taking over for legendary coach Dennis Murphy, who they named the court after here at South Medford High School. And James Whiteman was an assistant under Coach Murphy, took over the program, and now in his 10th year. Last year, the team went 11-13, finished 7-5 in conference play. That was good for tied for second in the league standings, but after tiebreakers, they ended up not being one of the automatic teams out of the Southwest Conference to make the postseason. And because of their power ranking, they did not get in, so they missed the playoffs. First time for South Medford missing the postseason since the 2019-2020 season, although they didn't qualify for the playoffs that year, it looked like. And also, there were no playoffs that year for 6A as the COVID-19 pandemic shut down the high school basketball season as the playoffs were getting underway. Now that I think about it, I think it wasn't until the tournament rounds that they shut things down. So I think teams did get playoff games. Yeah, that's right, now that I remember. They did get playoff games, but then the final tournaments did not get played. So if South Medford had made it that year, they would have at least gotten a first-round playoff game in. They did not make the playoffs. So last year was the first time that South Medford did not make the playoffs since that 2019-2020 season. They graduated 5 seniors from last year's team. One All-Southwest Conference player, that was second-team selection, Cole D. They do bring back 2 all-conference selections in Quentin Ritchie, second-team All-Southwest Conference player a year ago, and Joey Clevenger, who we previously mentioned, is out for tonight's matchup. So South Medford looking to try and put things together. Coach Nixon talking about the size of this South Medford team. Pretty much everybody's around 6 feet or taller. They do have a junior, Pierce Ashley, at 6'7". Jed Johnson, one of their leading scorers, at 6'5". And then Levi Pacheco at 6'3". So they've got some decent size on their roster. Roseburg's bigs in the game against Sheldon had a decent game. Preston Sprague at 6'5", coming off of 14 points in that game against Sheldon. Gannon Egbert listed at 6'3", coming off of a season-high 17 points in that game against the Irish. So their bigs were able to put some pressure on the Sheldon Irish last Friday, as Roseburg had one of their best games of the year, a season-high 83 points. Unfortunately, they just gave up 101, and that's not a formula that's going to work well for any team in high school hoops. Roseburg looking to get this win. They are on the road 2 games this week. They will take on South Medford here tonight, and then they are going to the Purple Pit on Friday when they will take on the South Eugene Axe for a 7:30 tip there in Eugene. And South Eugene, as mentioned, near the top of the conference standings. That's going to be another tough one, a team that likes to shoot the 3-ball. In that game against South Medford last Friday, South Eugene hit 10 3-pointers in that one. So that's going to be a big matchup. That could be another high-scoring affair between Roseburg and South Eugene coming up on Friday night. But they'll see if they can kind of play their game. Speaking of high scoring, let's take a look at the averages going into this one. The Roseburg Indians average 53.4 points per game. They give up an average of 77.1. South Medford averaging 64.9 points a game, giving up an average of 57.4. All right, well, that time that we had to make up there, that kind of went quick. We were able to give you quite the recap, though, and preview of tonight's matchup. And now we take our final 2-minute timeout as we wrap up the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. And when we come back, we'll have a look at your starting lineups for these two clubs. Don't go anywhere. We got high school hoops coming up for you tonight here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today. Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Starting lineups getting announced down on the floor. Let's take a look at the starters for tonight's matchups, brought to you by Southern Septic Service. For the Roseburg Indians, led by head coach Brett Nixon, it'll be senior Harrison Scott, a junior Tristan Frabel, senior Jaden Kemmerly getting the start tonight, junior Preston Sprague, and Gannon Egbert, the junior, will also start tonight for the Roseburg Indians. On the other side, for the South Medford Panthers, their starting lineups getting announced here tonight. It'll be senior 6-foot guard Braden Carson, another senior, a 6-foot wing, Jake Von Strahl. Quentin Ritchie, a second-team All-Southwest Conference selection, will start tonight. He's a senior, listed at 6 feet tall. A 6-foot forward, senior. It's Sammy Huxtable, averaging just under 2 points a game. And then you've got Jed Johnson, the senior, 6'5" post, leading scorer for the Panthers at 11.8 per game. Head coach James Whiteman in its 10th year, and assistant coach Jamie Hammerickson. That's your Southern Septic Service starting lineups for tonight. From residential to commercial, Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service is woman and veteran owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. That does it for the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Again, let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. Give them a call at 673-7122. Roseburg will be in the road black jerseys. Roseburg across the chest in white, outlined in orange. White numbers on the front and the back. On the other side, the home whites for South Medford. It says South across the chest. Blue numbers on the front and the back. Blue trim down the side with a kind of old-styled English S on the pant leg. It'll be Preston Sprague in the middle to jump it up against Jed Johnson out there. We get ready for the opening tip, and it is won by Roseburg. The Indians moving left to right on your radio dial. Into the front court goes Harrison Scott. He'll pull up on a quick two. It does not go, and down with the rebound comes South Medford. They'll quickly move it up into the front court. On the left side with the dribble is Ritchie. A lot of dribbling on the left side around a screen. Gets to the free throw line. Pulls up. Had it ripped out of his hands, but a whistle. That'll be Preston Sprague. Whistled for his first as he reaches in trying to knock the ball away from South Medford's. I believe this is Ritchie at the line here. He'll go to the free throw line, so they'll say he was in the act of shooting. And he does get the first one to go down. Quentin Ritchie at the line. We'll get our scoring started here tonight. It is 1-0 South Medford. First points coming at the free throw line. Tonight's game brought to you by Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson & Company, member SIPC. 1 out of 2 at the line, but the rebound tracked down in the near corner. Out to the top, a three for South Medford, and sinking it is Jake Von Strahl. And it's 4-0. South is taking the early lead in this one. Pass across the floor, looking to attack. Goes Frable, kicks it into the corner for Kemmerly. He'll go on the drive, pulls up just on the left side of the lane, and Jaden Kemmerly will get Roseburg scoring started. 4-2 our score here in the early going, just about a minute away in this Southwest Conference battle. On the left wing, Carson throws it out to the top for Von Strahl, dribbles right side of the lane. They kick it left side, a wing three, passing up on it, driving in through the defender, and Jed Johnson will finger roll one in to make it 6-2. In front are the Panthers. Up the left side goes Harrison Scott. He's going to go coast to coast, throws it up at the iron. It spits out a loose ball, tipped around, juggled everywhere, and coming up with it is Johnson. He'll weave his way up the floor, Euro step around the defender, offensive foul. Goes right through the chest of Roseburg. And picking up his first will be Jed Johnson on the offensive. 6.5 to go here in the first quarter. It's 6-2 South Medford in front of Roseburg. Inbound, pressure from South Medford. They nearly steal it away in the backcourt, but Kemmerly will be able to get it into the front court. Pass out to the top and a tie-up. And it was Gannon Egbert getting tied up with Quentin Ritchie, and the possession arrow will favor South Medford. So the Panthers will get it back. And they will inbound in front of their student section on the far side. The band here tonight performing the national anthem. They're in attendance. Student section not quite full here. Seen this gym packed at times in the past. Not quite at capacity tonight. Ball nearly taken away, and loose ball coming up with it is Preston Sprague up the floor. Has his shot blocked, and South will get the possession on the loose ball. Roseburg got the steal, the defensive stop they needed, but they couldn't finish on the other side. Nice job recovering by South Medford. In the front court with it, Ritchie. Takes it out, dribbles between the circles, initiates the offense with 20 to go on the shot clock. Bounce it away right side. Carson looks for the give and go from the right side. Bank shot, no. Fight for it underneath, and it's Sprague with the rebound, and then a whistle. We're going to call that on Sammy Huxtable for his first. Huxtable going up and over the top of Preston Sprague, who did a good job of being aggressive with the basketball to hang on to it. Roseburg's got to get it in bounds. On the run, receiving the basketball goes Scott. It works his way up the floor, makes the dish to Preston Sprague, and Sprague will have his first points as Roseburg will get on the board to make it a 2-point game. That cuts a bit of a scoreless drought from both teams as we're down to 5.5 to go in the first quarter. It had been a little bit of a scoreless drought on both sides. 6-4 the score, holding out at the far right side. Von Strahl, pass underneath, tipped away, and Roseburg coming away with a couple of nice defensive stops on their side, on the defensive side of the ball. Long throw up the floor, Kemmerly, it looked like that went in. But it just caught the net. From this angle, it looked like it went through, and a splash, it looked perfect, but it was just short. Air ball, in fact, and it goes tipped out. It's off of South Medford, so Roseburg will get the possession. Ball gets tipped out to Kemmerly at the top. Shot clock didn't reset, so it's down to 19. Kemmerly driving, snuck a pass through the defense. I don't know how that got to Preston Sprague, but Sprague is there for the 2 points. And Roseburg will tie it up 6-6 here in the opening period. Under the 5-minute mark. On the left wing, out to the top, a 3-ball, too strong. Rebound tipped up, fighting for it on the far side. Huxtable will win. He puts up an air ball on a floater. Gannon Egbert was fighting with Huxtable. Ball got tipped up, and Huxtable was the first to be able to get to it. His second look on that possession, though, well off the mark. Out at the top, Kemmerly picks up the dribble, gets a short pass to Egbert. Right side at the elbow, picks it up. Back out to the top, Frabel. He'll drive right hand. We had congestion, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Egbert as he got tangled up trying to set a screen. It was Egbert that ended up on the ground, but South Medford will get the call. 4:22 to go first quarter. We're tied at 6-all here at South Medford High School. Panthers with the basketball, working right to left on your radio dial. Switching the hands out to the right side for Ritchie. Short pass. It goes out to the top for Huxtable. Holding with Egbert on him. Makes a short pass to Johnson. Johnson tried to dump it off in the middle, and it's lost, and Roseburg comes away with another takeaway. Defense has been working in Roseburg's favor so far tonight. Give and go with Harrison Scott. Cuts through on the left side, and Roseburg's got their first lead of the night as Harrison Scott gets his first points of the evening. It is 8-6. Roseburg is in front here early going in this one. Let's take a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Social Security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Back here at South Medford High School as the Roseburg Indians take an 8-6 lead. First lead of the night. It comes with 3:51 to go in the first quarter. And now South Medford looking to try and recover. Bounce it into the middle. Levi Pacheco into the game for the first time, working against Egbert, and Harrison Scott strips it. Tried to call for the ball off of South Medford, but doesn't get the call. Try to get a legal ID in just a moment here from the baseline. Lob it into the middle. Catch, and they put up. No, underneath. And, falling out of bounds. Unlucky. Kemmerly was falling out of bounds. Tried to throw it off of South Medford. And it ended up going right to the Panthers, and they got an easy 2. Now a 3 from the left side. And a whistle will stop play. You're going to call a foul, and a 3-point shot will send Harrison Scott to the line for 3 free throws. And the foul goes against Pierce Patchley, who has checked into the game. And that'll send Harrison Scott to the free throw line to shoot 3. First one rattles in. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on the Score. Harrison Scott, last one, a bit of an adventure, but it does fall through the cylinder. He makes all 3, and Roseburg's gotten an 11-8 lead, their largest lead of the night at 3. Playing good defense and getting some shots to drop here early on. Open look at a baseline jumper, rolls off the front of the iron underneath. Rebound was pulled in by Pacheco. Out to the near corner for Miller. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Atchley. Driving in, weaving through traffic, and going to draw the whistle here, George Pacheco. And Pacheco will get a chance to head to the free throw line. So that will go on Gannon Egbert, his second. 3 team fouls on either side. At the free throw line, George Pacheco hits the first. He's a 65% free throw shooter coming into tonight's action. He'll make it a 2-point game, trying to cut it down to a 1-point game. 2:51 to go here in the first quarter. Second one is true. So both go through, and we're going to get Parker Rogers checking in, probably one of the earliest appearances in a game for him. He'll take over for Gannon Egbert, who checks out with his 2 quick fouls in this one. Full court pressure again from South Medford. Inbound went through the net for Preston Sprague, but it does make it to Kemmerly, who backs his way into the front court, looks for the baseline cutter, got it to Harrison Scott, who had his shot redirected, then was forced across the baseline, but he saves it. Throws it off of Mason Lupton. It'll stay with Roseburg on their side of the floor. 24 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound, a 3 by Preston Sprague. Too long. Sprague is not much of a three-point shooter, but he pulled the trigger quickly on that one. Quickly up the other way. Scotty Miller, averaging 9.6 a game, will get a run out 2, and he puts South Medford back in front, 12-11. Across the timeline, running the point. Kemmerly bounce it away right side for Scott, who draws it out. They want to force him right for the lefty. He goes right, had it poked away, and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Indians with 18 on the shot clock. Tonight's ball game brought to you by our friends at Roseburg Country Club, established in 1922, offering an 18-hole course with excellent year-round playability. Find out more at roseburgcountryclub.com. Inbound went all the way into the backcourt for Tristan Frabel, who's got to work his way into the front court. Finally does. In the corner, a 3 by Harrison Scott. Too strong. Over the iron. Now run out the other direction. And the shot blocked off the backboard by Preston Sprague. Coming away with it is Roseburg. Up the floor, in the lane. The left-hand runner for Harrison Scott is good. And Roseburg back in front at 13-12. Back and forth first quarter. 1:36 to go here in the opening period. Toss it away left side. Out to the far side, Miller almost taken away. He turns, sprints to the rim, and Parker Rogers going to get a deflection there. Underneath, catching a fist to the face was Preston Sprague as he goes up for the rebound. And the foul is called on Mason Lupton. That was a dangerous one there, but Preston Sprague didn't seem to show any sort of ill effect. And Roseburg will get the basketball. Into the front court goes Scott. Angles right side, looks for the cutter on the baseline. That one does not want to fall. It was halfway down the cylinder before it spits out for Kemmerly. Defensive board for the Panthers. They find the baseline cutter, but too strong underneath for Lupton, but he gets his own rebound and puts it back in. And back in front by a point is South Medford. Mason Lupton beating 2 Roseburg players underneath the basket to get the offensive rebound and the putback 2. Pressure again in the backcourt for South Medford. Roseburg's got to get somebody open, and a 5-second count for Parker Rogers. Nobody got free. They all tried to make one cut, and then everybody stopped. Nobody kept moving. And so Roseburg will turn it over with under 60 to go here in the first quarter. The Panthers leading by 1 and with the basketball. Inbounding from the far side. Goes into the corner for Miller. Launches a 3. Too strong off the iron underneath. Parker Rogers got the basketball. And we're going to walk the other direction. Foul called on Levi Pacheco, and it's going to head down the other direction. I believe Parker Rogers has earned himself some free throws here. That was Levi Pacheco picking up his first by my count. They haven't put it up on the scoreboard. There, they do announce it. It will be Parker Rogers going to the free throw line. Rogers too strong on his first attempt. Parker Rogers not much of a scorer. The junior averaging just 0.6 points per game. Got a chance to try and tie it up on the second one. And it's off the right iron, no good. 50 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Up the far side. Toss it back out to the top. Levi Pacheco too strong on the 3. Down with it was Rogers. He keeps getting it tipped in and out of his hands as he tried to run the breakout there. On the near side, out to the top, another look at it for Pacheco. This time it's Sprague on the defensive board. Up the floor comes Kemmerly. 26 seconds. He finds Rogers cutting to the rim, slapping the backboard, no whistle. And it's off the mark for Parker Rogers. And now South has a chance to try and get the final shot off. Roseburg, a couple of good looks at trying to get the lead going to the second quarter. George Pacheco, pass out at the top. Harrison Scott got his hand on it, but he bumps Scotty Miller and will get whistled for the foul. Roseburg defensively playing a very strong effort here in this first quarter. Nice little spirited effort on the defensive side, but there they let one go, and getting wide open was George Pacheco, and he will make it a 16-13 game at the end of one. Easy bucket to finish things off here at the end of the first quarter, but it is a back-and-forth one. Roseburg trailing by 3 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Second quarter action coming up for us here from South Medford High School. Harrison Scott leading things for Roseburg with 7 points. He'll get it on the inbound as Roseburg will break that full court press. And Preston Sprague now with 6 points in the ball game. He gives Roseburg 2, and they get back within 1. Up the floor, making the cutter through the middle and laying it up with the left hand. Jed Johnson will stretch it back out to a 3-point lead for the Panthers. South Medford putting a lot of pressure on in the backcourt. Roseburg able to move it up the floor in the front court. Leading scorer in the game for South Medford is a 3 off the mark for Harrison Scott. That would be 3 players with 4 points total. Up the floor and off the mark underneath. Good rebounding tonight for Preston Sprague as he battles for that one. Roseburg pass up through the defense. Harrison Scott will get it. Gives it to Frabel on the left side, looking to attack. Goes right hand to the free throw line, into the corner. Kemmerly, catch and shoot 3. It spits out underneath. A big rebound by Egbert has it tipped out of his hands. It'll stay with the Tribe with 33 on the shot clock. Evergreen Family Medicine is sponsor of tonight's ball game. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Evergreen offers more than traditional primary care. You can always expect more from Evergreen. Driving in, Tristan Frabel will draw the whistle. A blocking foul in the middle. That one goes against Quentin Ritchie, and James Whiteman on the bench is trying to say he was straight up with his hands up in the air, but he's not going to get a change on the call from the officials. It is going to be ruled a shooting foul, so heading to the free throw line for 2 will be Tristan Frabel, who was scoreless in the first quarter. And James Whiteman is very unhappy on that call. First foul against Quentin Ritchie. Tristan Frabel a chance to try and cut it down to a 1-point game at the free throw stripe. He nails the first. High school hoops here on the Score, also sponsored by Waldron's Outdoor Sports. Hunting season and fishing season, they're always right around the corner. If you need supplies, make sure you stop by Waldron's Outdoor Sports. They've got their new location on Stevens Street. That is 450 Northeast Stevens in Roseburg. 2 free throws go down for Frabel. Makes it a 1-point game, but on the other side, an offensive putback for Jed Johnson. And back out by 3 is South Medford. On the right side, Egbert playing with his 2 fouls. Gives it away to Harrison Scott, harassed. He's going to step into a deep 3, and he rolls it in. First 3 of the night for Roseburg, and it ties us up at 20 all. The Indians sticking with South Medford here tonight. In the left corner, trying to step around the defender. Instead, just goes right through him. And it is Jed Johnson with 6 points in the quarter. He puts South Medford back in front as the Panthers will call another 60-second timeout. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Well, it's been a strong effort for Roseburg to start tonight. We'll see with a limited bench because of injuries. We'll see if they're able to stay with it for a full 4 quarters. But right now they trail by 2. They had just tied it up on the 3 by Harrison Scott, but a quick 2 on the other side by South Medford. They lead it 22-20, but they come out of a timeout with a full court press. Roseburg will be able to work it into the front court. Angling right side is Harrison Scott. To the left-hand dribble, he pulls up just inside the three-point line. No, underneath, rebound, ball tapped out by South Medford, and Roseburg will get it back. Been impressed with Preston Sprague underneath. Inbound, goes into Frable on the right side. Jab step, goes into the corner. Crossover, left hand in the lane, gets around the defense. Falling down, he'll hit the 2. Nice job by Tristan Frable. On the other side, a run out, a 3 in the corner. Goes down for South Medford. So Frable on one side. On the other side, it's Vaughn Strahl that buries the 3, his second of the ball game. And back out, 25-22 is a whistle now on the far side. Goes against the Panthers. This will be against Vaughn Strahl. I have that down for his first. Vaughn Strahl with 6 points on 2 made threes, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Inbound from the far sideline for Roseburg. Frable will get it to run the point in the half-court set. Goes with the left hand, looking to get a screen, but goes opposite of it from Egbert. Driving in, goes Kemmerly, jump stop in the lane, throws it up. It dances on the iron before it rolls off into the hands of Vaughn Strahl. He'll bring it across the timeline, pass it away to the left wing. At the wing, Ritchie, quick first step into the lane, fadeaway jumper. It falls through a soft touch and a friendly roll here at home for the Panthers. 5-point game, South Medford in front, continuing to pressure. Harrison Scott will get it, angles to the far side, behind the back dribble. Out at the top, launches a 3. He gets hit again in the act of shooting. 5:01 to go here in the first half, and Harrison Scott's going back to the line for another 3-point opportunity. They call that against Ritchie, who picks up his second. Harrison Scott rattles in the first. He was fouled in the act of shooting a 3-pointer in the first quarter and got 3 free throws. He's going to get a chance at it again. Second free throw goes down. One more coming here for Harrison. Tonight's game brought to you by Gibbs RV Superstore. You gotta get to Gibbs. And the final one goes down. Perfect at the line tonight for Harrison Scott. He is 6 for 6. Gets Roseburg back within 2. Pass through the lane into the left corner. A 3 splashes down for Braden Carson. And then a steal on the inbound by South Medford. And they're going to go to the free throw line as this foul goes against Gannon Egbert. He picks up his third here in the first half. 4:49 to go in the first half. Heading to the line. No. Yeah, it is a 2-shot foul. Egbert has not subbed out just yet, and nobody sent to the table. Now Roseburg will send somebody down that direction. Trey Brown will get ready to check in. At the free throw line. First one, nothing but nylon for Huxtable. Makes it a 6-point game. That's the largest lead of the night for South Medford. One more free throw coming for the senior, Sammy Huxtable. Averaging 1.9 a game. He's a 37% free throw shooter. You would not tell it by the two that he just put down there. He looked real fluid and strong with those. Inbound, taken away by South, but then saved back in right to Kemmerly. And Roseburg will get it. Throw it up the floor, into the corner. A three by Frabel. Can't get it to fall. And then in the backcourt, stolen away by Harrison Scott. He'll turn around and launch a three. It does not go down. Saved back inbound. Loose ball on the ground. It's tipped around. Frabel comes away with it. And Roseburg will get another stop. A three-point attempt. No. And stepping in the corner. Good pressure there, but Frabel kind of got Harrison Scott stuck in the corner. Didn't have many places to go with it. And Roseburg will turn it back over, although you got to commend the effort to try and keep the possession going. Up the floor, Ritchie. Angle to the left, back to the right. Hands it off. A three from straight away. No, underneath. It's Sprague with the rebound after the miss by Jed Johnson. Brown brings it into the front court as he checked in for Gannon Egbert. We're going to get a line change here for South Medford, and now we get a tripping or blocking foul called against the Panthers. That's going to go against Sammy Huxtable, who picks up his second. So George Pacheco, Levi Pacheco, Scotty Miller, Pierce Atchley, and Mason Lupton will all check into the game for South Medford. Trey Brown gets it in. It goes into the backcourt for Frabel, who will now walk it across the timeline. Harassed out at the top by George Pacheco. He pokes it away. He gets up the floor and will miss the lay-in, but the offensive putback will go down for Atchley. And South Medford starting to amp up its defensive pressure, and Roseburg not handling it as well as they were earlier. Also have gone a bit cold on the offensive side. Splitting through everybody. Ball nearly taken away by South. It's tipped out of bounds with 23 on the shot clock here in this second quarter. They'll wipe up some moisture off of the floor. 34-25, a 9-point game. Largest lead for South Medford. Roseburg has had the lead here in this second quarter, but they have gone a bit cold. I don't have the numbers on exactly what the run has been here for the Panthers, but they've been able to stretch this one out. Trey Brown whips a pass in the left corner. Kemmerly a three. It's off the mark. His high rainbow shot to get over the defense came up short. Lob up the floor in the left corner with it. Lupton will send it out to the top for George Pacheco. He drives left hand back to Lupton in the corner. To the left elbow, picks up the dribble, gives it away to Miller. Miller, straightaway three. I don't think he was confident about it going down, but it falls. And with the made three, it's out to a 12-point game. Roseburg needs a bucket badly. Brown, right side, nearly lost it. He's got the defense all over him. Coming to help is Frabel in the right corner. Tristan Frabel with a man all over him. Used the off arm to keep the defender off of him. Drives in, and Tristan Frabel, hard-earned two for Roseburg. Much needed two for the Tribe to get him back within 10. And a travel called by George Pacheco. Just a freshman. He's the younger of the two Pachecos on the floor. 2:43 to go here in the second quarter. It's 37-27. Lob out to the top. And it goes into the backcourt. I think that was a Roseburg basketball misplayed on the inbound there. From the free throw line, Lupton gets it in the left corner underneath. That kind of looked like a travel. No call. Rebound is pulled away by Kemmerly. Off the miss by Pacheco. Levi on that attempt. Up the floor, right underneath. Had his shot blocked, but a whistle. I didn't hear it at first. Everybody stopped play with Kemmerly right underneath the basket. And the foul goes against South Medford. They've already got 5 team fouls here in the second quarter, so Roseburg is in the bonus. And at the free throw line will be Kemmerly. Jaden will get his third point of the night as he makes the first. Another one coming here for the Roseburg senior. Knocks them both down. Where's this Roseburg team been? They are hitting their free throws. They're playing some tough defense. They do trail by 8, but this has been a much more competitive game than we have seen lately. A long miss, rebound out to the top. Kemmerly gets it, avoids some pressure, gets it up the floor to Frabel. Jump stop, back out to Kemmerly. He drives left side, lost the handle, but it goes off of Pierce Ashley, and Roseburg retains possession as South the last to touch it. And we're going to get a timeout down on the floor taken by Roseburg. Coach Brent Nixon's going to take a timeout, get a chance to talk with his guys down on the floor. We're going to keep it right here for this 30-second timeout. Tonight's game is brought to you by McClendon Smokehouse, a family-owned meat shop and smokehouse, offering a wide selection, plus fresh produce, baked goods, and a general grocery selection. Stop by on West Harvard Avenue. That's McClendon Smokehouse. Well, Roseburg on the road tonight here at South Medford. They go on the road to South Eugene for their next game on Friday. That'll be a late one, 7:30 tip-off for that one. We'll be on the air at 7:15 from the Purple Pit. Roseburg's at Grants Pass and at Willamette next week. So it's going to be a string of road games here for the Tribe this week and next. 2:02 to go in the first half. Roseburg with the basketball. And they started their offensive inbound set before the ball had been given to the inbounder, Tristan Frabel. He'll lob it out to the top for Sprague. Sprague dribbles with the left hand, faced by Levi Pacheco. Double team came. He was able to avoid it into the corner. Kemmerly, head fake, drives in, Euro step, and he uses the glass, kisses it in for 2. Kemmerly gets Roseburg back within 6. 37-31. South Medford in front. Baseline runner, off balance, no. Pulled down in the middle by Lupton, out to the left side. Three-pointer, no good. Getting his own miss was Ashley, and then Roseburg's going to commit the foul, trying to get it back from him. 90 seconds to go here in the first half. The foul goes against Preston Sprague for his second. Inbound from underneath their own basket for the Panthers. And a whistle. Unfortunate for Frabel. He was out of position. Didn't even seem to really be doing much, but Pierce Ashley goes to the ground and gets a whistle there. That was a bit of a touchy foul, but the fouls have been in favor of Roseburg tonight, at least on the scoreboard. So I don't think the Indians will have much room to complain. The foul does go against Frabel for his first. At the free throw line, rattling the first one down goes Ashley. He's a 22% free throw shooter. These guys have had some pretty low numbers on their percentages for South Medford, but they are looking pretty smooth at the free throw line. 1:29 to go in the first half, 38-31. Got one more free throw coming here for Pierce Ashley, a junior, 6'7" wing. Spins the ball, tosses it up, and nails him down. Inbound up the floor quickly. Wide open underneath on the other side. And unable to get the easy two was Frabel. Offensive rebound for Sprague. He wanted a whistle, doesn't get it as his shot came up short. Up the floor the other direction, and nobody takes Scotty Miller, who gets an easy two. And that just unfortunate. Roseburg had the look they needed on that one and could not capitalize. Across the timeline for Brown, he goes right side, looks for the baseline backdoor cutter. It got tipped away, but Frabel able to get it to Harrison Scott, who launches a three and missed everything. Three ball hasn't really been falling for either side. Lob into the near corner. Pump fake by Ashley. Cutting through is Levi Pacheco. Toss it back out to the top. Driving in, will get a whistle and the bucket for Mason Lupton. And Roseburg had cut the deficit down and now finds himself trailing by 12, tying the largest lead of the night for South Medford. 44.8 to go here in the second quarter. Jaden Kemmerly picks up his first foul, and heading to the free throw line is going to be Pierce Ashley. No, that is not Ashley, excuse me. I believe that is Mason Lupton. Free throw, no good. Rebound. Pretty sure that was tipped by South Medford, but Roseburg tried to save it, and all they do is throw it off themselves. So Lupton misses the and one. It's a 12-point game. South Medford, though, keeps the possession. Short handoff at the free throw line. Toss it out into the corner. Three-point attempt, no, but an offensive rebound and putback for Lupton makes it a 14-point lead for South Medford, their largest of the night. Into the corner, Kemmerly finds the Sprague open in the middle, and Roseburg will answer on the other side with a big two for Preston Sprague. 45-33, shot clock turned off, down to 17 seconds to play in the first half. Out at the top, George Pacheco with it. Dribbles left side, gets a screen from Levi Pacheco, goes right side, toss back out to the top from Miller. Miller makes a pass underneath, turnaround jumper, splashes in for Lupton. The baseline turnaround jumper is good, and here at the half, it's going to be 47-33 as the South Medford Panthers get a bit of a run in the second quarter and are able to pull ahead. Roseburg gets a bit cold on the offensive side and a few too many turnovers and missed opportunities. But at the break, still within reach for Roseburg, 47-33. And Roseburg trailing against South Medford when we come back for your halftime show here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Welcome back to South Medford High School. Dennis Murphy Court here at South Medford High. Roseburg trailing at the halftime break. 47-33 is our halftime score. We'll have a look at your Winston Auto Care halftime report. That is Winston Auto Care, your home team for auto repair for over 25 years. Give them a call at 541-679-8685. Winston Auto Care, your stat update sponsor, coming here at halftime. It was a back-and-forth game. Roseburg held a lead for the first time in this one, just under the midway point of the first quarter with 3:51 to go in the first period. Roseburg led it 8-6. Their largest lead would be of 3 points, but they would go back and forth with South Medford. It was just a 3-point game at the end of the first 8 minutes. 16-13 South Medford in front. In the second quarter, Roseburg hung with South Medford through the first half of that second quarter. It was a little back and forth. Roseburg took a lead at times. Tied it up at one point on a three-pointer by Harrison Scott. I believe it was tied at 20 all in that period. So 20-20 at one point on a three-pointer by Harrison Scott. But if that was the case, then that would mean that It was a 27-13 run to finish out the period for South Medford in that first half, as they would go on a bit of a run and they would take a lead into the halftime break. Roseburg had their chances, though, just unfortunately couldn't get a couple of shots to fall, and then had a few too many turnovers that happened on their offensive side. But they've been playing better defensively, getting some stops, doing a pretty decent job on the glass rebounding. So some of the things that Coach Nixon talked with us about in the pregame show, turnovers, so turning over the basketball. Roseburg has done a better job tonight, although still not good enough, but they've done a better job. And then rebounding, and Roseburg's done a pretty decent job rebounding tonight. They are very competitive rebounding here this evening, but unfortunately it hasn't allowed them to have a lead at halftime, but they have been competitive in the first half. We'll see if they can keep it going for the next two quarters. At the break, it is 47-33. We've got a score update from Roseburg, where the South Medford girls are taking on the Roseburg Indians. Roseburg girls trying to knock off the number 3 ranked Panthers. We'll have that score update for you coming up in our next segment, and we'll have a look at individual stats from this one when we come back. We'll take another 2-minute timeout. The Winston Auto Care stat update here from halftime coming up when we return here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today. Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Time, a quick one here as we get you a stat update. Team numbers, 1 3-pointer in that first half for Roseburg. They were 10 for 12 at the free throw line. On the other side for South Medford, they made 4 3-pointers and were 7 for 9 at the free throw stripe. Leading scorer for Roseburg, and he is the leading scorer in the game. 13 points for Harrison Scott, 8 points for Preston Sprague, 6 points for Tristan Frabel and for Jaden Kemmerly. And those are the scorers in this one for Roseburg. On the other side, with 9 points in the game, Scotty Miller leading the way. 8 points for Jed Johnson and Mason Lupton. 6 points in the game for Jake Von Strahl. 4 points for George Pacheco. 3 for Braden Carson. 3 for Quentin Ritchie. 2 for Sammy Huxtable. 4 for Pierce Ashley. And those are your scores in this one for South Medford. That is your Winston Auto Care stat update here at the halftime break. They've been your home team for auto repair for over 25 years. Give them a call at 541-679-8685. The second half action coming up when we return after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Back here at South Medford High School, our score 47-33 as we get ready to start the second half. Tonight's game brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Well, we get ready to go. Roseburg looking to see if they can mount a comeback and pick up that first win on the road. Boy, this would be a big one. If there was a team to get your first win of the year, you know, really kind of break out of a bit of a funk and maybe give you a spark to start the whole second half of the season. Beating a team you've lost 13 straight against, that would be something. But Roseburg down by 14, so they've got a way to go to try and climb out of this one. It'll be South Medford basketball to start the third quarter as we welcome you back to Medford. Joey Keeran here with you. Live video simulcast has been online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. I know it probably has been a little buffery and not quite the best, but we're doing the best we can. As it'll be Quentin Ritchie that gets a floater to drop for the first bucket of the second half, and out to a 16-point lead is Medford. Across the timeline, Harrison Scott picks up the dribble, looking left side. Will hand it off to Tristan Frabel. Frabel, Sprague, Kemmerly, Egbert, and Scott out on the floor for Roseburg here to start the third quarter. Frabel gives it up to Egbert. Egbert back out to Frabel. Frabel launches a three, no, underneath. Egbert fighting for the rebound, can't fight it away from two South Medford players. South Medford with that second lineup out on the floor to start out this third quarter as Harrison Scott's going to pick up a foul. The 16-point deficit, largest of the night for Roseburg. The foul goes against Harrison Scott for his second, and heading to the line will be Quentin Ritchie. So you've got George Pacheco, Jake Von Strahl, Quentin Ritchie, who hits the first of two free throws, Levi Pacheco, and Jed Johnson out there on the floor. So the two Pachecos, they're the off the bench in there to start this second half. They're the only two non-starters out on the floor for South Medford. Second free throw was no good, so 50% from the line for Ritchie. Up the floor goes Gannon Egbert, and Gannon will have his first points of the night for Roseburg, and he makes it a 15-point game. Spin around, baseline jumper, good for Ritchie. And Ritchie is coming out of the gates firing here in this third quarter. Dump it underneath, trying to get it to Egbert. Too strong on the pass from Harrison Scott. So I promised you a score update from Roseburg High School. The Roseburg girls unfortunately trailing against number 3 South Medford. 39-17 your score at the half from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Bounce it away left side with the basketball. Von Strahl, pass in the middle. Easy pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Too strong. Rebound down by Sprague after the miss by South Medford's Jed Johnson. Bounce it down to Sprague. Lost the handle on it, and South will come away with it. Lob up the floor, and that might have hit the official. Pass on the left side. Finds the cutter, and an easy lay-in for Jed Johnson. And South Medford coming out here in the second half on fire. 54-35. They have got 7 points to just 2 for Roseburg. Lost the ball at the free throw stripe for Scott. Up the floor, and South is going to lay it in on the other side. That is Ritchie once again, and Quentin Ritchie is off to a 7-point start in the third quarter. Timeout by Roseburg. Indians come out of the locker room looking a bit lackluster. 56-35, South Medford in front, and that is a 12-2 run to start things off here in the third quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
12-2 run to start the third quarter for South Medford, and the Panthers no longer playing with their food here tonight. They have come out and they have been looking like the team that is sitting near the top of the Southwest Conference standings, and they have pulled away in this one, leading 56-35. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Inbound, Roseburg facing a full court press after the full timeout taken by Coach Nixon. Kemmerly up the floor, had the ball tapped out from behind, taken away by South, up the floor, and it's kind of a two-hand dunk for Jed Johnson. Didn't really throw it down, more kind of just set it in the circle and put it in, and it doesn't matter. The South Medford faithful get excited about it. With that, it makes it 58-35. Running away with it here is South. They're up by 23 all of a sudden. Frabel running the point, works it from the left to the right side of the floor, dribbles into the corner. Will set up there, working against George Pacheco. Tried to make the cut, or the pass to the cutter, Egbert, and it's off the mark. Couldn't thread the needle. Up the floor, at the top, Ritchie kicks it left side. Splash, a three in for Levi Pacheco. And this is turning into a rout in the third quarter, 61-35. A 26-point lead for the Panthers. Harrison Scott crossover, tries to answer the three, hits the front iron, clanks off and into the hands of Levi Pacheco. George Pacheco up the floor, into the corner, catch and shoot three, no, high rebound. It's pulled down by Harrison Scott. Some pressure in the backcourt, but in transition, South will retreat to set up in the half-court defense. Harrison goes to the left hand, drives in, sails to the rim, doesn't get it, but Preston Sprague is there to clean up the offensive glass, and he lays it in for two. Trying to drop another three in. Ritchie, no. Sprague down with the rebound. Baseball pass up the floor. 2-on-1. Runner in front. And Harrison Scott will get his first points of the second half. And Roseburg gets a stop and a run out. 61-39 your score with 4:13 to go here in the third. Driving through, Jed Johnson stops. A couple of spinning pivot moves. And he finds himself with a free lane to the rim. He lays it in, 63-39. Harrison will bring it up here on the near side in front of the scorer's table. Reverse to the right hand at the top of the key. Gives it away left side. Frabel driving in, trying to get inside. And we got a wedgie. Tristan Frabel will put it up, and it gets wedged right in the corner of the rim. And that'll be a jump ball. And the possession arrow does favor Roseburg, I believe. Substitutions coming in. Roseburg's retreating as if they are going back on defense, but they'll get the ball on the jump ball. So the Indians will have it inbounding from their own baseline under the hoop. Harrison Scott gets it right in to Preston Sprague, but he doesn't get enough behind an easy lay-in. Kind of had to twist his body to try and lay it in. Up the floor, going coast to coast. No. Offensive putback two for Pierce Atchley, who just checked into the game. 65-39. Frabel pressured by George Pacheco in the backcourt. And we're going to get a foul called. Pacheco all over Tristan Frabel. South playing some tough defense, and they do not relent. They mark you for every inch of the court. Will be an inbound from the far sideline for the Indians. Egbert, Scott, Frabel, Sprague, and Kemmerly on the floor. You're starting five, but Roseburg short bench tonight. Marcus Lobo out, and Gavin Michael misses his second game as that ball was touched in the front court by Preston Sprague, but he couldn't handle it and didn't want to commit the over and back, so he just lets it go, and it's taken away by South Medford, and Sammy Huxtable gets the two. Pressure again in the backcourt, and Roseburg's going to get bailed out by a foul against George Pacheco again. He'll pick up his second. Pacheco's going to head to the bench as Quentin Ritchie will check into the game. So it is a 28-point game. And again, South Medford putting some pressure on. A foul called. And it is against Roseburg. Egbert picks up his fourth. South will get the ball on the far sideline. 2 team fouls against both teams. With 3:03 to go here in the third, it has been all South Medford. Roseburg just 6 points in the quarter. Meanwhile, South Medford with 20. Pull-up jumper, too strong by Quentin Ritchie. Rebound pulled down by Egbert. Ball tipped up. Harrison Scott will control it. Brings it up. Makes the pass left side. Frabel launches a 3, and he gets hit in the act of shooting. He'll get a chance to go to the line for 3. Got to like the effort of the guys racing over to help him get up off the floor. And Tristan Frabel goes to the free throw line. First half, really impressed by Roseburg at the free throw stripe, 10 for 12. Indians with just 3 guys on the bench here tonight, and the only one that isn't a swing player is Parker Rogers, who did check into the game earlier. First free throw for Frabel does not go down. Just really not. They've got 8 guys. I think Chartier did not play in the JV game tonight. I think I saw him wandering around while the JV game was going on as Frabel will hit the second. He's got 1 more coming. Egbert will check out of the game. Oh, excuse me. There, I didn't see Trey Brown. He was at the scorer's table waiting to check in. So make it 9 players deep for Roseburg, and Trey Brown does check in. He played some in that first half as well, the senior off the bench. 1 more free throw. Frabel will get 2 out of 3. That ain't bad. And it is a 26-point game in favor of South Medford. In the corner, Scotty Miller driving in. A bit of a running hook shot, no. Rebound tipped around in the middle. Fight for it, and we'll get a jump ball call. Possession arrow will go to the Panthers. On the floor, trying to hang on to the basketball was Mason Lupton. Roseburg had a couple of guys getting their hands in there trying to steal it away or at least tie it up. South Medford gets the ball underneath their own basket on the baseline, standing on the O in Medford. Inbound from Braden Carson. Lob it into the middle for Pierce Atchley. And the lob, he just tosses it up and it drops in. 69-41. Brown will run the point, works it up the floor, goes to the left hand, kicks out to Frabel. On the left wing, he steps into a 3. Had some contact, doesn't get a whistle. His shot came up well short, but up the floor, Harrison Scott steps into a long pass, takes it away. He tried to lob to the rim, but it's intercepted. Hooked the pass up the floor out in front of everybody, and that's again another bit of a dunk by South Medford. 71-41, it's a 30-point game. 1:52 to go, third quarter. Frabel, right hand, gets to the free throw line, jump stop, works around, draws a whistle. We've had a couple of, I don't recall if they've been from the same guy, but they're dunks. We'll give them credit for dunks, but they're not the most fiercest dunks. Needs another inch or so, or maybe a firmer grasp on the basketball to be able to really flush it down instead of just kind of placing it in the iron. At the free throw line is Tristan Frabel once again. He hits the first. 1 more coming. Not that I'm being overly critical because Lord knows I've never had a chance of getting anywhere close to doing anything even close to what they're doing in this game. So I won't be too judgy. Driving right side, getting right to the rim and laying it in is Mason Lupton. Back out to a 30-point game for South Medford. Pressure in the backcourt. Harrison Scott dribbling away from it. Gets it across the timeline. Minute 27 to go here in this third quarter. Left side, Frabel looking to attack. Jump stop. Needed to try and go up with it and draw the contact. Instead, lobs it out to the top. Trey Brown driving in. The finger roll spins its way down, and Trey Brown will get his first points of the evening. 73-45, a lot of sidestepping and jumping around as Mason Lupton settles in the middle of the lane and pulls up off of 1 foot to drop in an 8-foot jumper. 75-45, South Medford just trading buckets with Roseburg here, keeping it at a 30-point lead. On the ground, a scramble for the basketball. Roseburg gets it. Brown makes the extra pass to Sprague, but it gets stripped away up the floor. And a whistle as Harrison Scott commits the foul. Does not give a easy layup for Mason Lupton in the runout. 36.5 to go here in the third quarter. Roseburg has finally gotten some offense going, but just 12 points in the period. On the other side, looking to make it a 30-point period for South Medford. 2 free throws for Mason Lupton. He could make it 30 points even in the third. Mason Lupton, a 14% free throw shooter. Was 0 for 1 at the line. And make it 0 for 2. Parker Rogers will check in for Preston Sprague. One more coming here for Lupton. And that one rims out, but the offensive board, put back no. Another offensive board, another chance for South Medford with 30 on the shot or on the game clock. Shot clock is turned off. Scotty Miller sees a lane. He attacks, gets a whistle as Parker Rogers will pick up the foul. Tried to swat it away, got too aggressive. He reached. And Scotty Miller, I believe, is the man going to the line. Yes, Scotty Miller, the freshman. Scotty Miller, averaging 9.6 a game, goes to the line where he shoots 61%. Had 9 points in the first half, so he has hit his average. He does not make the free throw. If there's been something that has not quite gone well for South Medford tonight, it has been at the charity stripe. Second one does go through for Miller. 76-45, largest lead of the night for the Panthers. 21 seconds to go in the period. Across the timeline goes Frable on the South Medford logo, behind the back dribble, goes right side. 10 seconds on the clock, steps into a three, comes up a bit short, rebound underneath, taken away by South, lob it up the floor, got a man down there cherry picking, saves it back in, bank shot in for Pierce Atchley. And it's 78-45, Roseburg trailing by 33 as we go to the fourth quarter. Back after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Douglas County is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Fourth quarter action, we will get a running clock here tonight as that third quarter puts South Medford up by more than 30 to start the final period. Out there, Roseburg will have Harrison Scott. He is harassed every which direction. Harrison Scott draws a whistle. And it'll be an inbound underneath their own hoop for Roseburg. The foul goes against Levi Pacheco. Lob out to the top. Trey Brown recovers it. Between the circles, he goes right side around a screen from Rogers. Goes to the right hand, gets free and able to soar to the rim as he cradles the basketball in. Trey Brown, he's got 4 points here in the second half, and he starts out the scoring here in the fourth quarter for Roseburg, 78-47. First minute of the fourth quarter ticking away. Again, a running clock as we've hit 30-plus points in the fourth quarter. It'll only start for timeouts, free throws, and injuries. Offensive putback attempt for South Medford, no. Rebound. And I think this is the third time tonight that Roseburg has tried to save the basketball, but they have done it off of their own teammate. It's like 3 different times where we've got 2 guys trying to save a ball in, and one of them throws it off of the other guy looking to try and save the ball in across the baseline. It has just been kind of one of those kind of nights. Jake Von Strahl gets free for 2 to get South Medford to 80 points. That is a new season high for the Panthers. They eclipsed their previous season high of 79. On the right side in the front court, Harrison Scott goes left side, pulls up for the elbow jumper. It hits off the back of the iron and dies there. Rebound down to the Panthers. Up the floor, left side, letting the defense go by, and a whistle. As Quentin Ritchie jump stop, had the patience to wait as the defense came leaping in, then goes up and draws the whistle. And the clock does stop with 6:10 to go. South Medford's next game, they're going to be here at home against rival North Medford coming up on Tuesday next week, so they've got Friday off. First free throw goes down for Quentin Ritchie. Coming in, Jake Chartier will check into the game for Jaden Kemmerly. One more free throw coming for Ritchie. Tonight you had South Eugene at Sheldon. That should be a pretty good matchup there. A couple of top teams in the conference as both free throws go through for Ritchie. 82-47. Also, Grants Pass at North Medford also should be a competitive one there. So some good matchups going on elsewhere in the conference tonight. Dribbling in the corner, Trey Brown will toss it back out to the top. One hops into the hands of Tristan Frabel. Frabel works to the left side. Clock down to 16 seconds on the shot clock. Driving in, Frabel gets the roll here on the road. Tristan Frabel going to the ground, gets the ball to roll over the iron. Up into the left corner, that's a three-ball attempt, and it'll go down for Jake Von Strahl. His third three of the night, 85-49. Across the midcourt stripe, Frabel draws it back out, looks to attack, behind the back dribble, in the lane, turnaround, fadeaway jumper. He gets it to go. Tristan Frabel having a nice scoring night here tonight. 85-51. On the right side, got the defender in the air, pulls up for a more reasonably distanced two-pointer, but off the mark for Jed Johnson. Push pass into the far corner. It's a three by Trey Brown, too long, as we're down to 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Outlet up the floor, lob to the rim, can't get it to go by Ritchie, tipped out by Jed Johnson. Indians will get the possession. And we're going to get another wholesale change coming here for South Medford as we near the midway point of the fourth quarter. Frabel, marked by George Pacheco, stays with him around a screen, lost the ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg, and that'll allow a change for South Medford. 5 new players will hit the floor. Scotty Miller goes in. Mason Lupton into the game. Braden Carson comes in, so does Sammy Huxtable and Pierce Ashley out there on the floor. Some of those are starters, so it's not like it's all the bench players and swing guys coming into the game for South. Deep three by Harrison Scott, sure, why not? He drains it. Just the second three of the night for Roseburg. That has been one of their big issues, struggling on the three-point shooting. In the left corner. Out to the top, a three-ball attempt to try and answer, and he will. Pierce Ashley having a big night, averaging 2.4 a game coming into this one. And Ashley, with that three, has 15 points in the ball game. Around a screen, going left side, Harrison Scott gets free, throws it up. It does not go down. Tip at the rim does not go for Rogers. South comes up with it up the floor quickly. Out in front of everybody goes Braden Carson, who lays it in. Up to 90 points in this one with 3:25 to go. And if Roseburg's not careful, they may have another team hit triple digits on them here. 90-54. Around the screen, left side, trying to lay it in, and he will. Frabel having a big fourth quarter. He's got 6 in the period. 90-56. Pass it away left side. In the right corner, Scotty Miller drives to the free throw line with 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Into the left corner, launching a three. Nope, too strong, but able to get his own rebound is Ashley. Underhand pass, gets it into the hands of Carson. He drives in, things open up for him, and Braden Carson will get another bucket. 92-56. Frabel, dribbling left side, stops, pulls up. He'll put it up, and it rolls off into the hands of Huxtable. Driving up the floor around everybody, and there with the defense was Chartier. Looking to stop South Medford. On the left side, Frabel's going to launch a three. Sure. Tristan Frabel will have his first three of the night. 92-59. Tristan Frabel warming up. Unfortunately, he comes here in the closing minutes of this game. Left side, Mason Lupton called for a travel. Clock continues to run as we hit the 2-minute mark in this fourth quarter. A big lead for the Panthers, 92-59. Inbound into the backcourt for Harrison Scott. Scott works to the right side. Crossover with the left hand. Step back. He's going to just launch a deep three. Oh, my goodness. His third three of the ball game. He was out at NBA range on that one. Up the floor. Baseline finds the pass to the cutter in the middle. It rims out for Carson. Put back attempt for Scotty Miller is good. 94-62. And a foul in the backcourt. 1:17 and counting. Clock not going to stop. No free throws here. Well, Tristan Frabel came in a 16-point season high. He has eclipsed that. I've got him down for 19 in the ball game. Harrison Scott's going to check out of the game. Ben Palm will check in for him. Harrison Scott with a couple of threes in this fourth quarter is over 20 points on the night. I have him down for 21. Under a minute to go in the ball game. South Medford's going to get the win. Frabel looking to continue his big night. Gets whistled a foul. Clock continues to run. Still not a shooter. That'll be Pierce Ashley picking up his third. 30 seconds to go. Roseburg one last chance possibly at a bucket here before the final horn. Frabel's going to launch the three. Came up short, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg. If they hustle, they might be able to get one more chance. 18 seconds on the clock. Inbound to Frabel. He will dribble with the left hand. Pulls up, lets the defense sail by, puts up the shot. It comes up short. Rebound down to South Medford, and they just need to wear off the clock. This one will be final, 94-62, your final score here from South Medford High School. The Panthers will get the win, 94-62 on top of the Roseburg Indians. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back with the postgame show here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today.
Douglas County is your home. Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Back here at South Medford High School, tonight's game has been brought to you by Flyway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyway Travel. Make sure you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. And by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com. Call them at 541-459-1545. Final score 94-62. South Medford takes down Roseburg here tonight. Joining us here in the post game is Coach Brett Nixon. Coach, first half, very promising there for your team. First, I wanted to ask, just how much do you feel like the fact that you're missing Marcus tonight? Gavin misses his second. Obviously, Jaron Leeworthy's been out for a while. Team is pretty short-handed. Did you feel like that kind of showed up in the second half, the fact that you guys were a little bit limited on your depth tonight?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely went from, that first five going, as hard as it could. A lot of energy. That first quarter was great. Even the second quarter made some little mental mistakes, but then it kind of showed in the second half that we were kind of gassed. Didn't have a lot of bench depth, so we used what we could do and tried to hang in there. But, yeah, they were just too much for us in the second half.
Looking at that first half, first quarter, very competitive. Early second quarter was competitive. Kind of got away from you late, and maybe we start to see some of that fatigue wear in there at the end of the first half. But what did you think about, while things were going pretty well for your team, what did you think about how they were performing? I think one of the things we talked about early was rebounding in the pregame, and I thought Preston Sprague is particularly stood out on the glass, but it felt like your guys were really making an effort to try and be on those boards.
Yeah, we hammered that this last week. Practicing Saturday, pretty much, there's hours worth of rebounding drills. That's all we did. We worked on rebounding, hitting the glass hard. Preston worked his tail off down below, and I know he was upset with me late there in the game, pulling him out. I know he wants to stay in there, but got to get some guys some time, and he was working his tail off, and definitely I think he left it on the floor tonight.
You've got a game coming up in a couple of days against South Eugene. Got to go to the Purple Pit. What do you feel like you'll try to take away from this game to try and focus on the next couple of days?
Again, talking about ball control, some silly mistakes, throwing the ball away. We can't have those mental errors. So we're really going to focus on ball control, possessions, and then executing the offense. There was a couple times late in the game. Again, we were kind of going away from what was keeping us in the game in the first half. So we got to be disciplined. We got to stay focused, and those will be probably buzzwords for the rest of the week.
All right, sounds good, Coach. Really appreciate you making your way up here for us tonight.
No problem. Thanks, sir.
All right, that is Coach Brett Nixon joining us here in the post-game show. Appreciate him. That's our Bowers Industrial post-game interview here. Let's take a quick look here at our Winston Auto Care stat update from this one tonight. Roseburg again falls 94-62 against South Medford. Taking a look at scoring for Roseburg with, let's double check here. That is a game-high 21 points for Harrison Scott. He drained a couple of threes in the fourth quarter to get him to 21. That is just above his average of 18 a game. With a season-high 19 points, and I would also venture a career-high 19 points for Tristan Frabel tonight as he explodes for 9 points in the fourth quarter. Also in double figures, Preston Sprague with 10. He had 6 points for Jaden Kemmerly in this one this evening. 4 points for Trey Brown, 2 points for Gannon Egbert. On the other side for South Medford, they had 6 players in double figures. Leading the way with 15 was Pierce Atchley. He averages 2.4 a game and finishes with 15. 14 points for Jed Johnson. 12 points for Mason Lupton. 11 points for Jake Von Strahl. 12 points for Scotty Miller in there as well. 4 for George Pacheco. 7 for Braden Carson. I don't think Quentin Ritchie, I don't think I mentioned him. 12 points for him. Sammy Huxtable with 4. And Levi Pacheco with 3. Third quarter was the big difference, 31-12. South Medford outscores Roseburg as they build a big lead and run away with this one tonight. 94-62, your final score. South Medford improves to 13-6 on the year, 5-1 in conference play. Roseburg will fall to 0-17 and 0-5 in conference play. Coming up next for the Panthers, they'll be back here at home against rival North Medford Tuesday night next week. As we wrap things up for you here this evening, folks, we want to say thanks to South Medford High School for hosting us here tonight. And as always, a big thank you to the esteemed, legendary B.G. Gould for helping out with stats and helping make sure that we got a spot to broadcast from here tonight. Want to say thanks to Athletic Director Adam Blue, Head Coach Brett Nixon, the entire Roseburg boys basketball team for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Dale Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here tonight. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keeran. Let's do it again on Friday night this week. We've got a road trip to Eugene to take on the Axe in the Purple Pit. It's Roseburg and South Eugene tipping off Friday night at 7:30. Pregame coverage scheduled to start at 7:15. You can find the action right here on 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow our channel and get updates when we go live with another broadcast of Roseburg High Sports. You can always find Roseburg High Athletics on